Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. I'm gonna be honest. I literally sat here for a good 5 minutes trying to come up with um what to say in this review, and to be honest, it's very difficult because not a lot happens in this episode. Um, Steve does bring Kristen's um conversation, or her confession or whatever, to Rafe and Jada, but Rafe is like, there's really nothing we can do. Like, it's not admissible in court. Like, you obtained this illegally, we can't do anything. But Jada's like, listen, I may actually have a loophole. They call on Johnny because Johnny was the one that heard Kristen talk about what you know she did as far as withholding the treatment from Marlena, Kate, and Kayla. So he comes down there and they present him with it, as far as like, yo, listen, if you could, sign a sworn statement or whatever, then, we can sit there and have probable cause for arresting Kristen. And Johnny's like, yeah, yeah. And, at first he was like, listen, I'm sorry for making you have to testify or whatever against your own family, but, Johnny's like, Marlene is my family as well. You know, I feel like that's one of the running jokes in this show is that how do people know that they're not committing incest at this point? I mean, let's just be real. Their family trees are so closely tied together that it's just like, you know, I don't know if it was Brock, if it was Lanikia. I think it might have been Lanikia. Or was it Danny Bear? I think it might have been Lanikia. No, it wasn't Lanikia. And she made a joke talking about, oh man, it'd be really cute to see these two together. But then you're just like, wait, are they like related in some way? Even when Gwen first really got to town or whatever, and she was talking to Claire, and Claire was like, "Oh, you really messed up my family and stuff like that, as far as Chad and Abby and stuff like that." Gwen was like, "Oh, this whole bloody town is like pretty much like ancestral, like like very close together." And I'm like, yeah. I don't and I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand how they thought that was gonna work, as far as the soap opera is concerned. I mean, I know that they made the show way back when things were a lot more loose, but I can't imagine it being that loose. Um, Shin comes in there and tries to stick up for Gabby when Stefan's calling her all sorts of names, and Shin winds up punching him in the face, and um, Stefan says what he says and leaves. And at first Gabby was like, I didn't ask you to sit there and do that for me. Like, we ain't cool. Don't sit there and try to come for me. Like, I want no parts of you. But Gabby, she does have somewhat of a heart, or at least a seem. Well, she does have a heart, but she looked at Shin's hands, and she went in a hotel to get some ice. But she comes back and she dumps it on him, and Shin starts laughing. Because here's the thing about relationships and oof, relationships and forget my wording, emotions. They always sit there and say love and hate is two sides of the same coin. And, Shem was like, the fact that you did all that trouble, went all in there, and just sit there and dump, ice on me means that you still care. I mean, she cared enough to sit there and go in there and do all that, as opposed to just walking away. So he starts laughing, and, she walks off or whatever. So, as odd as this sounds, maybe the dude still has a shot with her. Maybe he does. I mean, Gabby has done some pretty terrible things. Even what she was doing, as far as, oh, let's talk to Marlena this way she could sit there and hypnotize you. Marlena is literally on her deathbed, but you're just like, hey, listen, I know that you're in the middle of dying, but can you just like pause for a second, because I need to get the love of my life back. If you could just sit up and just really do your job and just. And she even said, oh, I wasn't trying to do anything harmful. I was giving her purpose. Wow, Gabby, he was giving her purpose. Okay. All right, boo. So she's done a lot of dirt herself. You know, so I can see her being like, well, given my resume of all sorts of things that I did, maybe I could sit there and let this one go. It's possible. Chloe is a very difficult character to take seriously, especially when she barges up in Kristen's place, and she's all like, oh, she pretty much confronts her about everything. Brady breaking up with her, the three ladies' deaths, all of it. And she picks up a fire poker. Kristen at this point is laughing. She's like, "You're not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna do anything." I'm sitting there watching this. So I was like, "What are you gonna do? Hmm? Oh, you gonna pick it up and you're gonna swing it at her head? Okay, all right. Considering that this woman literally took you with one hand tied behind her back, good luck. I would definitely love to sit there and see her wipe the floor with you again. But of course, Stefan comes in there. He stops her, and she leaves, and he calms her down, and there's a point about the kiss. Um, but since apparently it's Harold's day off or month off or whatever, or week off at the very least, Stefan answers the door, and it's Jada and Rafe with a warrant. Now, Kristen, I guess, decided to pick up Rachel from, I guess, like a play date or whatever. And long story short, she lies to Rachel about why she had to leave, saying that it was Chloe's fault, this, that, and the third, and that she wants to then take her daughter on her adventure by getting out of Salem. This way they can spend time together because that awful, mean-spirited Chloe. But if I don't know if it's really gonna go so well. You know, yeah, Rachel loves her mom, but she also loves her dad as well. And I feel like at some point, she's probably gonna start asking a lot of questions. And maybe when she was like 4 or 5, you might be able to get away with that for a little bit. But she's a little bit more smarter now than she was when she was a kid. So I don't think it may go over so well. Brady is not there blaming himself, and John is like, "Yo, listen, it's because of you that we got all this time that we did with with the love of our lives. So we need to be sitting there thanking you. He's like, long story short, we could sit there and play what if games all we want. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. There's no point in that. But of course, while they're sitting there talking in the chapel, Allie comes to get them both. Now, I guess because tomorrow's going to be probably the moment where she dies, which is like, is that the order that happened in first? Like she went last, or she was about to go last. Like she got sick last or whatever. Because it's kind of amazing to me that like the order that they left in, and they all got the same doses at the same time. I mean, I know different people have different immune systems, but I'm like really? The only thing I could sit there and say nice about the scene with Allie and Johnny is that they're not, they're just being brother and sister. They're just coming together to comfort each other in the time of need. And it's definitely a nice change of pace from them butting heads and acting like a bunch of 12-year-old kids, fighting over women and all other sorts of nonsense. It's just like, I guess some people found that funny and cute. I personally did, and I found it to be pretty annoying and obnoxious. So I'm glad they're over that. I feel like that's about it. I can't really say much anything that happened in this episode. It was an okay episode. Uh, it was okay. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It was just okay. Now tomorrow, Marlena's gonna die, and this. Here's the thing again, and I said I wish I could sit there and have some sort of, oh man, I'm so bad. I feel so sad or whatever. But Marlena has been on the show for like, I don't know, centuries. Okay, whatever death scene that she's going to have, it's not going to really matter because she's going to come back to life. All three of them are going to come back to life at some point. So, yeah. Just surprised it's taking so long. I mean, it's not. I don't want to sit there and sound like a dick or anything. That like, he's still alive. It's just, it's kind of amazing that it was like literally days, and I think they buried the other two women last week, and I'm like, tomorrow's Thursday, right? Like, when are we? Okay, sure, whatever. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.